Hey everybody, it's Cynthia Porter with Visit Winona. Ed Hoffman is running the camera, and we are live from Kinstone. It's a megalithic stone garden. It's a modern megalithic stone garden. I brought notes because this place is so intense that there's just no way for me to put all of the details of it in my brain. We're going to take a walk around, but first I would like to show you my new shirt. I stopped into the visitor center today and they have these cool retro shirts in there. I'm just going to do my hair like Farrah Fawcett to kind of go with it, and if you don't know who Farrah Fawcett is, then you're a lot younger than I am, but I thought that would be too much. So you can go in there and get this or all kinds of other shirts. They have so much cool stuff. They have little coin purses now that say like donut money. Oh, they're really cute. Anyway, okay, back to what we're doing here. Today is the solstice, June 21st, and so this place is hopping already. There's a concert here tonight. It starts at 6:30 and it goes till 8:30. There's an admission fee that I think is maybe $15 or something along that line. I looked on their website and I saw a little bit about what's going on here. Still a lot of time to get here. If you're coming from somewhere, even a couple of hours away, you've got some time to get here and see it. This is a special place because it was built with the intention of being this healing and remembering and connecting and grounding sort of space for people. It was built by a woman named Christine Beck. She started a really successful.com in 2001. She sold it, I think, around 2011, and poured her life's earnings into creating this incredible space. And this was part of her family's farm, actually. She grew up, 4 generations of her family have farmed this land. She is the 4th generation to work on the land, but she's not doing dairy. That's what the other relatives that she's had who lived on this land were doing. She bought it from her parents in the 1990s, held on to it, let it rest, and then created something that's so special. You can't imagine it until you see it. So Ed's going to try to walk backwards and show you the stone I'm standing right in front of. This is the farthest east boundary of the property, and that's called the Venus stone. It's the tallest stone on the entire property. It's 31.5 feet tall. It looks pretty tall there, right? But 8 feet of it are buried in the ground. So I'm not sure what it took to get that into that position, but I'm sure that it wasn't easy. So this entire megalithic garden is crafted with stones that many of which were quarried very close to here. I think they come with special purposes, special properties, in sort of a metaphysical sense. There are different kinds of stones that they believe are healing or healing. I don't know, but this is the first building that you come across, but it was the last building that was built here. This is called the Dragons. I'm gonna have Ed come in and show you. I'm gonna find the exact name, but it's like the Dragon's Room. Okay, it's called the Dragon's Keep. So if you come in and you look really close, like shown Ed, there's little dragons buried in the walls all around here. I don't remember how many dragons are in this room, but there's a lot. And then all of these glass glass decorations. When the sun is really shiny, I was here one time and the sun was shiny, and it is fantastically beautiful because all that glass goes through to the outside, and so the sun comes through. Really fantastic. This is called the Star Wall. It's also made from cordwood and then concrete and then the glass. Also one of the more recent additions to this property. So, what is a megalithic garden? We had to look because I'm not exactly sure myself. I know that I've seen them in Ireland and Scotland, but I wasn't exactly sure what the definition was, so I made Ed look it up. And megalithic just means, is typically referring to massive stones, usually ancient, and probably usually ancient, because that's all that there were before people like Christine Beck were creating modern sculpture gardens out of the same ideas and the same properties. So this place has, like, look at this. This is all the different areas. We're not going to see every single one of them because this would be a 2-hour tour. But we're going to try to cruise through the highlights, and we're going to show you things that are being swarmed in by people right now, because the concert is going to start in a little while. We heard the flutes practicing, and the flute players are going to be playing like glass flutes and wood flutes and all different kinds of flutes, and there's a drummer, and I don't know, it's going to be beautiful. It sounded beautiful. Actually, we were walking, just kind of walking our way through the path to see, how are we going to show you this, and we could hear the flutes drifting through the air. Really, really beautiful. So this is a piece of petrified wood. Wow. Sorry. That goes. So when you come, you don't have to print off something ahead of time. A lot of these little stone circles that explain what they are, what they're called, what they're for, and there are, let's see, what is this, 30 acres. And we walked most of it when we came, and they are spread out through the whole place. If you wanted to come here and be alone and just have some reflection time, something really peaceful, kind of, I think we're about to get lost, which you could do, but you could eventually find your way back, I think, to anywhere. So these paths that are cut through all sort of connect together somehow. What this is cut into is prairie, and this it looks like it's pretty much undisturbed prairie. We have seen monarch butterflies all over the place out here, and dragonflies look like they've just hatched from somewhere. Also, there's some red-winged blackbirds out here that seem to be defending their nests, so let's hope we don't get dive bombed by any as we are walking around. Okay. This, I think, might be my favorite idea in the place. So, while Venus is the tallest rock, that's Lancelot, and Lancelot is, let's see.
It's Atlas.
Atlas. This is Atlas, and this is Lancelot. And this stone is 35 tons. Ed, let's switch spots. I think Ed, no, I'm just kidding. Like, give me the camera and you do this. Ed remembers more about this than I do. But here's what I do remember. So this is drilled with holes. And the precision alignment of these two means that when the sun comes up on the equinox, that is, I don't know. However, no, when the sun sets on the equinox, the sun will come through those little bitty holes, and it will line up like a beautiful bright row of dots on this gigantic stone behind it. So, all right. There's a lot of, you could spend your lifetime researching, sort of the earth sciences behind these megalithic circles. And I think that Christine Beck did, because everything here means something special to her, but also to a lot of the people who come here. So I came here once because some friends said, "Have you seen it?" And I said, "Nope." And so they drove me out here, and we just walked around, and they come here all the time because you know, it's just such a peaceful place. And there's people here who just really, you know, I mean, I think that they just come here to kind of have a respite, a place where they can relax, a place where they can sort of connect with the universe, connect with Mother Nature. And a lot of people believe that there's just some kind of some special juju, you know, in the intention that this place was created with. So, oh yeah, it's pretty. There's the float. So we're about to show you the biggest attraction of this stone park, as far as I understand it. It's the large stone circle. It's the Kinstone Circle. I'm just going to stop talking for a second and let you listen to that flute and have Ed show you this circle because it's really cool. Okay, so 19 stones on the outside, 19 more stones on the inside, 3 stones in the center. This is about 81 and a half feet across, and what I understand is that this is the largest privately owned megalithic sculpture in the world. Now, hi. Do you want to talk to us for a second? Oh, this is Christine Beck. So we started at Venus and we're working our way.
Oh,
we're gonna
fabulous.
take a circle and we're gonna
Did
end
you
up.
get into the chapel?
We did.
Oh,
We went
good.
inside. So I'm reading. I printed off everything because it's so much,
Yes.
you know, to understand.
Yes.
But can you summarize your mission and your idea behind this incredible space?
Sure, I can try to do that. This place has just been a real place to be for me. I was looking for a place to get away from my office, from corporate life 10 years ago, and decided to create this wonderful spot. And I thought it was going to be just for me, but since I put it up, I realized that it's just not. And so the land has been speaking to me. I call myself a land listener. It wants people to come here and to experience some kind of feeling that they're not used to feeling. A new connection to nature, a new spirituality feeling. Just maybe a feeling that, wow, if I say yes to my dream, what will happen? Mm-hmm. And so that's really how it's evolving now. It's evolving into a very spiritual kind of place where you can work on things that, you know, are in here.
And so it becomes a place for really reflection.
It is a contemplative and meditative space. We are going to be offering more retreats. We have had several here already this year. We had been doing a lot of permaculture classes, and permaculture is still a big part of what I do here. Permaculture is a science or a study of creating sustainable human habitats that mimic nature and are based on 3 ethics, which is care of earth, care of people, and reinvesting any surplus into care of earth and care of people. Mm-hmm. And so everything that I do here and decisions that I make is always like, well, how is this caring for earth? How is this caring for people? What can I give back? Do I have too much of this or do I have too much of that? How can I give back when I have surplus? So we do have a lot of raised garden beds. I've got some little goats, and I milk a goat every morning and night, and I make my own cheese and yogurt and kefir and stuff like that. And then I have chickens and ducks and a goose, and they give me eggs. And really this idea of integrating with the land, providing for yourself to some degree, not necessarily producing all of your own food, but really if everybody took a little bit and did a little bit toward their own sustenance, our world might be in a lot better space than what it is currently regarding food systems anyway. Mm-hmm. So.
Wow. So the concert tonight, tell me the names of the performers. I
Yes.
looked and I told a little bit about the flutes. That's what I
Yes.
remember reading.
So the performers are Peter Phippen. He's from Eau Claire, and he is a master flute player, antique and bamboo flutes. And then his protege, who is Victoria Shoemaker, is here, and she is also a flutist, but she's an expert silver flute player, but also plays crystal flutes. And then there's a drummer, Brian Reidinger from Minneapolis, coming, and then Robbie Crawford is here, and she plays the crystal singing bowls, and she's from Viroqua. And Peter and Robbie have played here many times, and Victoria, this is Brian's first time here, so it'll be kind of fun to see a new drummer. We've had a number of different percussionists here with them, and it's always really a spectacular feeling for this kind of music in this venue.
And your website is it Kinstone
Circle. KinstoneCircle.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have a lot of information there too. People who want to dig a little bit deeper into your events and to
Yes.
the history. That's where I got this from.
Yes. So we had a solstice event this morning. We watched the sunrise. So
I heard that you had that, but
you weren't
took a
going to
hard
come at
pass.
5:15. Come on! And we actually saw the sun before all these
Yeah.
clouds moved in, so it was quite exciting for our small group. So check my Facebook page
neat.
for photos from that. And
Yeah, Ed was offering. Ed's a morning guy, and I just said, I don't think I
Well,
could do it. I couldn't pull myself together to have a conversation with him.
some people wonder, what do you do here? How do I come here? Really, you come and you wander, and people spend an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes 3.5 hours. I just had someone here this week, and she put a note out on my page that said, I was there for 3.5 hours and I could have stayed a lot longer. She said, I had no idea it was so big. I didn't know there was so many things that were going to speak to me. So if you are wondering what it is, just come. It's a $5 admission. You just put your cash in a box and you come in and wander and there's a little map and you can follow your way around and enjoy the space. And certainly if you want to run a retreat or if you want to hold an event here, then you can give me a call and I'll talk to you about
Yeah,
that.
you do events here too.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go see the
Please do go. The three witnesses.
The three witnesses.
They're waiting to witness you. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Wow, great. So much. I'm so glad we ran into her. I hadn't seen her until just now when we came. I just didn't know because I know she's got a lot going on. She's got people showing up for this event tonight. And yeah, I joke about the sunrise thing, but not joking. Like that would feel so painful to me to try to have this conversation with you at 5:30 in the morning. It just wasn't gonna happen, but I bet it was cool. If I could have come and just been quiet and not said anything, I probably would have enjoyed it. But I know they have those events: solstice in the winter, solstice in the summer, equinox in the spring, equinox in the fall. They have events like that on all of those occasions. So this is the Stargazer Circle, and one of the cool things about this is that a lot of these rocks are naturally shaped to let you look at the stars. Cool, right? So they're all over. There's some back there. There's more on the other side of that. They're like just curved just exactly right. So they'll have fires here, and you can just lay there and, admire the night sky. And I'll tell you what, we're up on the top. If you're wondering where we are up on the top of the ridge on the Wisconsin side of the Mississippi River. So I think that we're about 10 or 12 minutes from Winona. You turn on County Road M, going off of 35, where George's is. If you've ever been to Winona, you probably know where George's is in Wisconsin. And so you turn there and you just start going up, until you get to a road called like Coal Bluff or something along that line. I mean, look for a map, don't trust me on this. But that's it. And it's really, really close, but it's really secluded up here. It's just pastoral and quiet and beautiful. I did see a UPS truck go by for a minute. And we have a cell phone signal apparently, which feels like a little bit of a miracle. But this is the three witnesses. I'm gonna let Ed give you a look at it. Oh, look, you can see Ed. If you go like, you can see a little bit of the sunset going through there. So this is called a dry stack megalithic sculpture. There's no joint compound or sealants of any kind used. Just Christine and her friends and her family created this, stacking one stone perfectly on top of another, and little stones in the chinks. And it's really beautiful. So, it's nice. Can you see this on top of there? Okay, so it says here that they got a lot of this from the Cold Spring Granite Quarry, which is very close by to here. And so this is kind of like from the earth here, and then just to the top of the earth, still right here. It's really a feat of science. If you look at this circle, that there is nothing, there's no mortar holding those stones in place at all. They're just wedged so perfectly into position that they're not going to fall out. Okay, so we're going to show you. Listen, this tour could be 3 hours long, but it's not going to be. So, just looking for the fastest way out of this circle. And we are going, because this actually, it's not a labyrinth, so to speak, but it kind of does have a couple concentric rings. So, you know, you could walk around the interior of this for a little bit. But there's more to see. We're going to show you a couple more things, and then we're just going to point in the distance to a couple things, because it really is very spread out. When they say 30 acres, they're using all of it. But there's also, we're coming up on one of those red-winged blackbirds. But there's also so much space for this to grow. Here's some things that we didn't see that I know are on the property. Hey, buddy, hope you don't have a nest. There's a cordwood sauna here somewhere, and we didn't see that. And there are a couple of other buildings that these documents talk about that are used for various purposes. There's a circle over there we're not going to go. I don't know if you can see it. It's called the Mystery Circle. Let's see. It has 12 stones. They're mostly natural boulders. Oh, and one of those stones, apparently, in the stone has what looks like a natural question mark. So that looks probably like the farthest away stone circle in this property, although I don't know, because we get down to the tree line and it's thick down here, thick trees. I don't know how it is where you are, but there's no bugs here at all tonight, and it's perfect. It's a little cool, you know, maybe it's 70 degrees, 68 degrees, probably something like that. These are called prairie and serpent structures. And this down here is called a dolmen. Now, a dolmen is it's an ancient type of structure. You see them actually. We were wondering if Stonehenge might be on this same kind of idea. No, I'm not sure, but they can have 2 stones, 3 stones, 4 stones, more. But the idea of these all is that they have a capstone on them that kind of protects them as a space. Now, that capstone weighs 13 tons, I read. It's surrounded by what they call, they're like guardian stones. And these usually, in places in history where they've been used for thousands of years, they usually were like morgues. Like they buried people inside of these. And I guess there's nobody buried in here right now, so that's good. But they might, maybe someday, you know, I don't know. I guess that's what they're for. if it worked out, 5,000 years ago, it's probably safe to do it today too. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna go see before we say goodbye is a labyrinth. A labyrinth is a meandering path that you can only go one direction in, that eventually leads to a center. We came down here and walked this one a little bit, and it's meandering. And I guess Christine made it with her family and friends in one afternoon. They just kind of worked together with this gigantic pile of rocks, and it took them 6 hours to create. It might take me 6 hours to get out of it. So the rocks are little. I mean, it's small, but I think that there's bad mojo if you jump over the lines and go. If you cheat, you can't cheat in a labyrinth. I mean, you can, but you probably, I don't know, maybe you are cursed then or something. Because the labyrinth is really, it's kind of symbolic of the ultimate reflective process, that the process of going through the labyrinth is a metaphor, for your own mind. And so the importance of doing it properly is really the key of a labyrinth, right? So I'm going to stop talking and let Ed just show you a little bit. From down here, the view of these rocks all standing up there is so pretty. There's a couple who just finished the labyrinth and are having a moment. In the center, there's a stone in the center that you can sit on. I'll let you look. I mean, it's public. Isn't that sweet? But we're about to go interrupt that, so sorry. I was just trying to look at the notes and remind myself how many boulders, how many rocks, rocks, have been placed here, and I can't find it, but I think that I read that it's about 185 stones that have been brought in. This is something that is years in the making. She started it in 2011. It's 2019. She's just building and building as she goes. I bet there's going to be more. She's got a lot. That's available. So we'll go a little bit. We'll do a little bit of the labyrinth. So every week, I'm going to try to do the labyrinth backwards. Every week we go, and I'm already going to cheat and go over the line. Every week we go wherever you tell us to go. Facebook Live has been a journey that you've sent us on everywhere that you want to see, anywhere around the Winona area. And we've done, we've climbed Sugarloaf, we've done the ice park. Ed's trying to give me like arrows so that I'm just about to go off the rails. Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. Maybe you don't have to take the labyrinth back out. Once you did the labyrinth, maybe you're cool to just, step over the rocks. I don't know. you happen across, for some reason, there's something that you love about Winona, you need to just tell us what it is, and we'll put it on our list. And then we create a poll, and on Mondays, Sundays and Mondays, the poll goes up, and then you get to vote where we're going to go. And at the end of the week, whenever we can work it out in our schedule, and with whatever place wins, we go. We do Facebook Live. Thank you for going on this journey. I still have a lot of labyrinth left to get through, so, and the walking backwards isn't going that great, so I'm gonna just wrap it up right now. But I would like to know, where are we gonna go next week? It's gonna be a beautiful weekend here in Winona. If you've got time, you could still make it and catch some of this concert. Come hang out with us. Come find this for yourself and take a wander and enjoy this beautiful space, because it's pretty special. So for now, thanks for watching, and have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.